morning, guys. Rick Shaw here on the 20th of May, 2022. We've got a kind of a cool morning going on. It's not hot at all. I'd walk down here, but there's so many construction workers all coming in right now. But we had a nice birthday for little Geronimo. He had a blast yesterday. Didn't get to ride his bike much because the way the rain was, we had some pretty hard rains on and off. So he didn't get to do a lot of riding or anything like that, but I'm sure he will today. We had Wes and Ami came over for a visit. That was really nice. Nice to sit and chit-chat with Wes because it doesn't matter where the conversation goes, he's pretty much knowledgeable about everything. So it's always nice. It's really nice. And I forgot to mention too about his vehicles. He has insurance on them, and he was telling me that the insurance he has is transferable. So, and it's paid up. You pay it here for like a whole year. It's like on this car. The last one we paid for the whole year was $16,000 to get like a full coverage and all that, medical and everything. So he's got that on there. So take a look at that if you're interested in vehicles, because he'll be going. I guess he'll stay until they get sold, and then he's going. So that'll be something. But the other thing too, guys, I said a thing on here about this New York shooting, how fake it was, and I don't think I was the only one saying that. I mean, you had to just see that. They took this damn thing down everywhere, even on my BitChute one, where I had saved it. It's gone. I should have saved it straight to the phone. But, they took it down, and you look at video games that these kids got are exactly the same thing. It's all fake anyway. But they took it down because they got caught. They got caught. It was an obvious fake. I don't know who these people who make this stuff, think it's gonna help, but they did take it down. What a bummer. And then the other thing I saw on the news here, these big labs that make this stuff are protected against liability, but there's still people suing. They're trying to find ways around these protectionism laws that they have, and I hope they make it. Sue them into oblivion. We don't need them anyway. We don't need these things anyway. For one they save, you lose it for another reason because of them. So it's just changing the who gets sick, that's all, and get problems. I knew a fellow a long time ago in our area. There was nobody heard of anybody having polio or anything like that. Nobody heard about it. And then they started giving you this polio stuff, and one of my buddies just boom, got polio. So where you just got to wonder, where did it come from? If they never brought that in, would he have gotten it? We may never know. I'm sure that with all their tests and stuff, they know already, though. These guys know all this stuff. Then, of course, our so-called leaders, they passed this stupid slush fund, Biden's slush fund. And, of course, I'm sure they all got a cut. They run this stuff through without telling anyone. It was like when they put the Federal Reserve back in. They do it in the middle of the night, or they do it real fast, don't let anyone read the bills. Back then, people were on Christmas holiday. And they run this crap through, and we haven't got a chance, guys. We haven't got a chance with these representative republics. They're going to do whatever they want. It's them against us. It's always has been. They started this country out where it was supposed to be citizen politicians. Get in, do your bit, get out. And it's not like that anymore. They're career politicians that are just super rich. They've never done anything to produce any sort of wealth in their entire lives. They're just political parasites, and this is just where we're at. So crazy. It's just crazy stuff. But talking about crazy, now we got a guy. He's in Wisconsin, He's on top of a church, and he's not letting the parishioners out. I guess he's armed to the teeth. I don't know. I remember when they had that Texas thing where the dude was up in the Texas tower and he was just nailing people with a high-power rifle. And the police couldn't do nothing because they couldn't shoot back at him. They didn't have high-power rifles handy. That's not the case today. The guy's got a problem. Shoot him. And this fellow too that they claim, I'm not buying it that he shot anyone in New York. It's another thing to push a gun grab. But he had a manifesto and all this stuff. And well, something, if there would have been some people armed there, if I'd have been standing in the parking lot behind him and I seen him get out with a rifle and just shoot some lady and she dropped on the ground, I'd have popped him. Plain and simple. I'd have popped the guy, and it would have been the end of the story. That period. And you look at these school shooters. They're going to go to the gun-free zones, guys. If you're going to go do something sick like that, you wouldn't go to a place where everybody's got guns. You don't hear of anyone robbing a gun shop, do you? It's stupid. But I did love the one video, and they took it down. I had it on my page. They took that one down too because it's too harsh for people to see. Well, they ought to show this stuff. But the dude goes into the convenience store to rob, and every one of the convenience stores popped him. They got him, and that's what he should get. That's what people should get. If you eliminate these people, things are going to be fine. But here's the deal with these politicians and all these judges and stuff. They're leaving these evil people out. I dare say that the evil people in the U.S. is a small percentage. Of course, most of them are in government, but the people out on the street that aren't in government, it's a super small percentage, guys. I don't believe it's this huge amount. Well, they keep letting them out. They're doing this stuff now. You look in California where they're just robbing the stores in the open, and the cops are told to leave them alone. And judges are letting them off the hook. They're promoting it, guys. They're promoting this crap. I'm telling you, this is what they want. They want this baloney. I myself, as a citizen, if you're a good citizen, armed citizen, and you go pop somebody, you're going to go to jail the rest of your life. But a criminal's going to get off. They let them off for murder. They let them off for all this stuff. And it's a plan. It's a global plan they want to destabilize the U.S. for sure. It's the last bastion, they claim. And now they got all this stuff going on in Ukraine where Sweden and Finland want to get in on this UN. And that's another thing. I think the U.S. should be out of that. None of our business. If they want to do their stuff over there, fine. Let them go. Let them fight. Who cares? I don't understand these globalists. They want the depopulation. Well, leave them go. Leave them their own devices. They'll take care of themselves. They want to shoot each other. Why should we be involved? Get out. I would probably be an isolationist if I was running the show. I don't want to do anything with it. That's one thing I liked about the Don. He was getting us out of all these entanglements. We don't need that. It's money for these same rich people. These same rich people are going to do what they can do. We got a baby formula shortage. You know what? What a pile of crap. What happened to people? You got the internet. Make your own. Don't make it with that Karo syrup crap. That's fake news. That's to make your kids sick and diabetic and all kinds of other stuff. But I remember when I was young, my mom had me early, and she wasn't producing any milk. She just gave me regular cow's milk, and I'm alive. I'm still alive. She said that's what they had, so that's what she gave me. Plus, we had grinded food when we were real little. I said I don't remember before 4, but I must have remembered, because that was one thing we had. When dinner was done, us smaller kids, she'd take a quart jar, and she'd take all the food that was at the dinner table, like let's say it was a roast potatoes, carrots, onions, garlic, all the stuff like that, and she'd put it in her Oster grinder, and that one took a quart mason jar on top, and she'd grind this stuff into pulp, and boom, we'd be sitting on the counter after dinner, and she'd be poking that in our heads, and we turned out good, and it was good. It tasted good. I don't remember it not tasting good because I always ate it, and I even made it for my kids when they were little. We called it grinded food, and it was good. And you can give it to little tiny ones. You're giving them Gerber baby stuff, you know, some stuff that's made by somebody you don't even know, you know. But look what they're doing to our foods. They're bastardizing our foods. They just had a thing out where this one place they introduced the synthetic meat. And they've been doing this stuff where they take cuts of meat and try to make it look like another cut with glues and stuff like that. They've been doing this stuff for a long time to feed the masses, but I don't know. It's better off if you can buy from local farms. This food shortage, this should get a lot of people that have land to start growing stuff. Get some chickens. You know, I had chickens, and you see them around here too. They don't feed them too much chicken feed. The fighting cocks they do, and they give them shots and all this sort of stuff. I don't want to eat any of them. But when we were out at Mindoro, our buddy Jaime, his chickens just run around. They don't feed them. They peck bugs and eat whatever. And he cooked us up a chicken, and I'll tell you what, that was a tasty damn chicken. They're kind of skinny. They're skinny chickens, but I'll tell you what, that was some tasty. It reminded me from way back when chickens used to be good. Now you get chickens, they're fatted up. They inject them with all kinds of stuff. It's like the turkeys, you know, they just inject them with this liquids to puff them up and make them heavier to make more money. So I don't get that, but I would, you know, they got all these dang chickens around here. Of course, they're roosters and stuff, but, you know, I'd like to have a bunch of chickens. They don't go anywhere. You get chickens around your place, they don't go anywhere. And start raising your own foods. I know in the cities you can't, but that's why they want you in the cities. They want you in the cities so you can't have all this kind of stuff. Get you an urban center so you're easier to control and dependent on them. That's what it looks to me like. They want you dependent on them. And then you get these Gates. He's, oh yeah, I got COVID. No, yeah, I've had a bunch of shots. And he's getting interviewed by Anderson Cooper. And that guy's had them all. I doubt any of them ever had any of this. There were so many videos of these big wigs not really getting it. They're not getting it. Fake needles, they don't even poke them in. There's nothing in them. You know, they're not going to take this thing. And then you see them cruising around with no face diaper. You know, because they know it's a big, you know what. You say it, and they'll strike me or whatever the heck they do. But I sit back, though, and still talk to people that don't get it. They're not seeing it. I just had one fella hit me up. He's talking about getting on my Telegram so he could debunk all the stuff that I have on there. Hey, okay, yeah, this is how you get on it. I told him, and I hit him on the messenger. I still have my messenger, and you know, he says, yeah, you know, we're going to give you the tinfoil hat award and all this stuff, and I ventured to say, you know something, I think he needs one. You know, I don't, you know, I'm getting to the point where I don't know how to argue with them when you present all this information and they look at it and they just don't want to hear it. And I truly believe that it's because it's just too much to take in at one time. You know, the brain just can't absorb all of it at one time. It's a lot of stuff, but there is a lot of disinformation I'm sure they're going to be doing. I put the flying saucer on the front of my one video because that's probably going to be next. Calling the aliens, you know, anything to distract you from what's really going on. You know, these elites, they got to cover up, you know, like the Johnny Depp trials, all this stuff. Why is that blow for blow And this thing, I have not seen on mainstream media where they said Maxwell cut a deal. You know, that she's gonna let these guys go. Now, is she gonna make it? Is she gonna hang herself and then shoot herself 15 times in the back of the head while her hands are tied, with supposedly cameras all over like Epstein? Who knows? You know, I hope they're watching her really close, and they got some really good guards on her, but they've infiltrated everything. Look what happened to Kennedy. And then the guy who was deep into that, like you would never believe, became president. And he said, we're going to have a new world order. That's what that guy said. So, you know, look how far this goes back, guys. It goes way, way back. You know, these international bankers with their fiat currencies and all that, robbing you blind, and people just sit there, as long as they got their G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip and their Big Mac, they're fine, they're happy, you know. And I saw a lot of news about Big Macs, that people food, you know, that it was made out of people and all this stuff. You don't hear a lot of that. Is it true? Not sure. Could be. Why isn't there some lab? This is the thing I saw on that news. That could be fake, because why isn't somebody DNA testing it? Why aren't they going to McDonald's and getting a testing burger? So they put this news out there. Now, good news, because you shouldn't be eating that garbage anyway. You know, there's so much crap in it. They actually stopped on McDonald's saying 100% pure beef a long time ago. And not many people noticed it. I did right off the bat. Hey, what happened to the signs? 100% pure beef. They're not advertising it that anymore, because who knows what it is. Slime, maybe. The garbage from the floor, I'm not sure. But I doubt could be that there's humans put in there. I don't know. But if there was, there should have been people jumping all over that. There's scientist people all around. You look at this stuff with the COVID, there's people coming out all over against this thing, and doctors and credible people. Well, where's the credible people that are testing? You just go down to McDonald's and get a burger. I mean, if it's true, then why isn't somebody getting a burger and DNA testing it to find out what's in there? I don't know. Maybe they can't. I don't know. But they should, if that's the case. I'd like to see some people who are into that, and let's debunk that as fast as we can, or say that it's true. You know, one or the other. But I do put some of that stuff out on my page. Not that I buy it 100%. I don't buy a lot of it. You know, me, I haven't for a long time believed in the moon landings, and that's something. If you just look at it real close, you look at NASA, how much money they're taking in, and then they keep talking about going to Mars and all this stuff. Well, just look into the Apollo landings and all this kind of stuff. It just looks so fake. It's like 9/11. You know, that one. Buildings don't go down like that. There was a building in Germany. It was on fire for 21 days, and it was a twisted wreck. Structural steel don't melt. I remember when the fire was going, it's black smoke. That tells me that it's not getting enough oxygen. Okay? And jet fuel, what does it burn at? I never heard of any jet fuel. Maybe it was a super duper jet fuel that burned at a super high temperature to melt steel. And then this pancaking theory. Give me a break. If anything, it should have pushed the steel outward and taken out buildings all around it, but it fell into its own footprint. And they talk about, a lot of people say, oh, we love this Rudy Giuliani. He had to be in on that, because they got that crap hauled away so fast it wasn't funny. You know, and then some of the pictures I saw where the beams had a perfect 45-degree angle cut in this super thick steel. This steel was this thick in that exoskeleton on that building. Fantastic building. And then, of course, the dude, Silverman, gets the dang thing and puts a huge insurance on it, and specifies it even against a terrorist attack. You know, and then they demonized all these people, and they found the plane crashes, and they found passports that flew out of the plane, but they can't find anything with the plane. They find an engine way far away that wasn't even in those types of planes. Guys, there's just too much stuff to say that it wasn't real. And you can say I'm a nutbag all you want, but you ain't going to convince me otherwise, because it's all a bunch of crap. You know, it was something that they did. Rumsfeld, the day before, oh, we lost trillions of dollars. Yeah, and I got buried by it. Everybody just was distracted immediately. We're distracted too easy on this stuff. They watch the stupid TV. I'm getting tired of looking at TV. You know, it's a bunch of baloney. Look, even here, you know, they're going to start pushing this boosters here again. And if they sign on to this WHO rock band thing that's going on, then your country's lost its sovereignty. The U.S. is going to sign on to it for sure, because look who's running the show. So, and then I saw another thing on there that Trump wants to do a new Declaration of Independence, and they want to do a convention of states and all that. I'd be awful careful about that, guys. They do a convention of states, and they can take out and do whatever they want with the Constitution, and there's nothing you can do about it unless you trust the people running the show. I don't. You know, so, and then oh yeah, we got this new Constitution that he wrote, and blah blah blah, and we'd like to put that. Well, what's the matter with the old one? You know, I'd write it to make it a little bit clearer, especially on the Second Amendment. And this stuff of where they're trying to kill the First Amendment, you know, when you say something, if you're, you know, you shouldn't have to be afraid of hurting somebody's feelings, because now you got all these stupid snowflakes. They get their panties in a bunch over anything. You say anything. Look how they take stuff down on these channels, because they're afraid. Oh, you know, it's gonna hurt my feelings. Yeah, and I'm gonna have to go into my safe space and put on my girl clothes. Yeah. I don't know. You should be able to speak your mind on anything. And if you know something, if somebody speaks their mind, I listen. I don't have to agree with anybody. I don't have to do anything. But I'm not going to get butthurt because somebody disagrees with me. That's just the way it is. So, but I'm going to let you go. And this is Rick Shaw out.